Episode 109. I want to do something else.
You're listening to the very best podcast in the world on health, wealth, and happiness. Please remember to leave a review and share with all your friends and family. And here is your host, Lars Hilser.
And it's Thursday on, for the 109th episode of the very best podcast in the world, your only source in the universe for personal supremacy through health, wealth, and happiness. So today, we're going to talk about wanting to do something else. Period. That's it. That's a wrap. Seriously though, day before yesterday we spoke about day before yesterday or the day before that. I can't remember. Growth personality thing. Look it up. And we, growth mindset. Sorry. So that was about where I said, okay, never criticize anyone stuck in their 9-to-5 routine. If it works for them, it works for them, and there's no, you should never touch a running system. I think that's in IT and globally one of the most referred to quotes when it comes to just letting something run the way it is. So if it's okay for those people to, have their 9-to-5, go on their well-deserved vacation once a year, buy their new car every 7.2 years, and have 1.9 children, and planting 0.5 trees in front of their house, which they've got a mortgage on until they retire, and, that kind of drill. If that's for them, again, fine, period. Don't argue. Don't try to change it, because for them, that's the holy grail. As you've got your holy grail, which is luckily, as different as anyone else's holy grail and reason for being and whatnot. All of those personal preferences that we develop throughout our lives. However, when it comes to that point where these 9-to-5ers, fixed mindset people have been triggered to actually change something in their life, when they figure out that they're wasting a lot of their life's time in front of the television and sleeping in the sun and that kind of ordeal, while they could be making extra money to kind of spice up their annual vacation through a side hustle or whatever it is, then it is time to ask the question, I want to do something else. And in the beginning, and for everyone, it's going to be similarly unspecific. It's like, I have to change something. And then they sit there. And then, these scenes in these Western movies where you've got this tumbleweed rolling across the street, that's the emptiness that occurs. And that emptiness, that void, which then develops, we shall fill today with colorful ideas. A firework of colorful ideas. Let's put it that way. But first things first, a change in life is difficult for everyone, right? Imagine yourself being rather successful, and now we've got the Rona, and your business goes bankrupt because of decisions which were out of your control, kind of like the force majeure thing. And now you have to downsize. That's a change in life. And however, a change in life doesn't have to be a deep cut. right? Going back to the 9-to-5er, he wants to start a side hustle, or she, or they, or whatever the gender may be. And for them, it's like, okay, what are the consequences, right? I can't watch as much television anymore, right? I can't spend hours on end in the sun on my patio because I have no other, domestic responsibilities. So I have plenty of time, which I will use to, procrastinate and loiter and whatnot. And I'm deliberately using words with a negative connotation in this sense because it's about getting out of the comfort zone and frying your brain in front of the television, be it, with a regular TV program or Netflix or, Amazon Prime or Hulu or Disney Plus or whatever the fuck it is. You're frying your brain, period. And a lot of people do that way too much, which we can see by some of the remarkable exploits on social media, which are, always getting more remarkable pretty much by the hour. That's one of the outcomes, by the way. Sorry. But the cut into the life, if they have figured out that, watching television 8 hours a day isn't, very beneficial, is like, okay, the cut into their life, what is it going to look like, right? There's going to be shitloads of work because there is no shortcut to, getting rich or wealthy. Let's not call it rich, but wealthier than they are right now. So, that's the cut, right? They're going to have to work more. In a lot of people's perception, starting a side hustle means that they have to give up parts of their income, which is untrue. Look at it this way. You've got normally your 40 something, in France it's 20. No, but seriously, somewhere around 30 something to 40 something hours of work that you do. The week has 160 hours, 168 to be specific. So of those 168, we've got 40 per week, which are gone, which leaves us with, 128. God, my math is so good. So then, we deduct another 40 hours of sleep because sleep is important. Then, and anyhow, it leaves you with a tremendous amount of time, which you may be wasting or, whatever it is at the end of the day you're doing with that time. You could be using that time for a side hustle. So, which means that your work, your normal job is unaffected by your side hustle because you've got ample time to invest into starting something on the side. Right? And working a bit more. Doesn't have to be too much. So now we're there. Now we've got the side hustle rolling. We've got our normal job. We've got the side hustle that, maybe takes another 2-3 hours of your day. And then, you're in a better situation without risking anything. Period. No argument against that. You're just cutting away of 2-3 hours a day of frying your brain, and you're investing it into something which is going to give you a second income stream. That's where we are. Now, it may turn out that your side hustle is actually so successful that you can scale it, right? Then you're in a situation where you've earned a significant amount of money. Hopefully you've put some of it away, or a larger quantity, that you can go to your 9-to-5 boss and say, go fuck yourself. I'm going to be better. And, I'm going to open my own business and franchise and, whatever it is that you do, that you decide upon. So now we're at a stage where we have progressed even further, and where we are in a situation where we hire people. And if we delegate properly, that gives us more available time than we would have had we stayed in the 9-to-5 situation. Right? Because you don't need to be in the office at 7:36 in the morning because someone tells you so. You tell those other motherfuckers that they need to be there at 7:36. That's the beauty of it, really. And that's one of the things you have to figure out for yourself. And all the 9-to-5ers out there have to figure out. Because eventually, if you scale your business correctly, which hopefully you will, it's like that. Like you come to the office when you're finished with whatever you do in your morning routine, reading the newspaper, going to the gym, or doing whatever you want, and then it's you time, right? But until then, there's somebody going to be there that's going to unlock the door at 7:36, and there you go. So it's not only about the new job, though. I want to do something else. Might also be that you need a new hobby, be it whatever it is. Fact of the matter is, and by God, this episode is going to be short, every change that happens to your manifested routine is going to make your life go slower. I know it sounds weird, but here's the catch. Anything that is in your routine, you've done 1.5 billion times. So you are not really aware, or it's very difficult to be aware of what you're actually doing because so much is happening on autopilot, right? So it takes a huge amount of awareness of the present moment that you're doing one of these repetitive tasks to figure out for yourself that you're actually doing them. That's why they happen so fucking fast. And that's why your life seemingly accelerates the older you get. Now, we can kick this thing in the face by saying, okay, anything that's on autopilot, we're going to analyze. Any routine, be it brushing your teeth, be it, whatever, putting your pajamas on at night or taking them off in the morning. And it's about awareness of the present moment and what you're doing. And that will actually decelerate your life. Is there such a thing as deceleration? Email me. I'm curious. And then we get to a point where this awareness is actually going to slow down your life. You're going to be able to monitor. And then we get into the point where you can actually improve shit. Now, the same goes for routines like watching TV from, 8 till midnight, right? Cut that out and do something different. Read a book. Play a video game. Whatever it is at the end of the day. Do macrame. I don't care. It's about, go to the gym. Go for a jog. If you're tired of the jogging thing, buy yourself a mountain bike or, city bike, race bike, whatever, and go bicycling. And if you're dissatisfied with that, go play golf and whatever it is at the end of the day. You have to be aware of the present moment, of the things that you are doing on autopilot. That will be phase 1 of slowing down your life. Phase 2 is going to be to regularly exchange routines with new things that you have to learn, because the learning process is going to increase the awareness of what you're doing and thereby decelerating your life even more. And that'll take away the entire thing of your life rushing by you and that kind of thing, right? Anything else? Let me think. We did have the side hustle, which is a major change in your life, but it isn't, because it's not risky. It's just you're interchanging something. We figured out that it's not a deep cut into your life necessarily, because everything else that is there will stay there. There can be outside influences, like your business going bust or your employer and you have to downsize. We got that one figured out. That's, why some people say when they have to downsize, they fall into this downward spiral, right? Because they're new to the environment, they're new to the new house or apartment or whatever they had to downsize to. and they have pretty much a lot of time because they're unemployed, or looking for a new job. And those are all new things. They're out of the routine. And that's why this thing is actually there. And it's so dangerous, right? Because you have the perception that everything has slowed down, while at the same time, a second is still a second. It's just that it feels longer. And that's the important thing to keep in mind and to really take away, because we have repeated everything we have covered. And I think this was a pretty fucking great episode. So anyhow, anyone that wants to change something in their life, but is afraid or is full of anticipation, share this episode with them. Go to theverybestpodcastintheworld.com. Click the social share buttons at the bottom and share with friends, family, whomever you may want to share it with. And if you haven't subscribed to the podcast, please do. And until you have subscribed, or if you subscribe, I will love you even more. Promise. So in that sense, have a successful day. And if you've had your successful day, have a good night. And we'll be in touch tomorrow for Exercise Friday, when we're going to be talking about something which is set, but it's not on my screen at the moment. So I'll have to consult my show notes, and I'll tell you tomorrow when we're on the next episode. Stay safe. Peace out. See you tomorrow, folks.